Hello guys and gals and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about a rune word that doesn't really have a whole lot of stats. I think as far as rune words go, I think this one has the least number of stats on it that you can possibly have on a rune word. However, it does have some very nice stats that it does have. And this rune word is actually the rune word LemKoTir. It is the rune word wealth. Now, wealth is a very interesting rune word, and I know I say that a lot, but it really is, because it has a rather low requirement. Lem, Ko, and Tir are all relatively cheap runes. Lem being probably the most expensive of the lot, Ko being the a little bit less expensive than a Lem, but right around the same point, and Tir being absolutely easy to find. But Lems and Kos tend to be pretty easy to get once you reach, hell difficulty and you start farming in earnest. They drop all over the place, and right now I think on my character online I have about 4 or 5 Lems. I've got 6 or 7 Kos, so it's definitely something that you could make relatively easily. And even while I've been talking, I'm sure you can look at this armor and see what it's good for. But I'm going to read off the stats anyway. They are static, and they stay the same every single time you make this. So what plate you make this in is it's going to be up to you, because you might want a low strength plate or a high defense plate, just so you can survive. Now, it is level 43 requirement. The highest rune in this recipe is the, I believe it's the Ko rune or the Lem rune, one or the other. And it doesn't really matter, because at level 43, most armors become available to you. The only ones that are going to restrict you on this are the hell difficulty plates, which generally have something like 59 to 60 something requirements. As you can see, the Archon plate has a level 63 requirement. Now, it gives you 10 to Dexterity, 2 to mana after each kill, which is of course from the Tir rune, and we also get 300% gold for monsters and 100% better magic find. So as you can see here, we have a rather nice magic find armor and also gold find armor. Now, this is to contrast very starkly between something like Scalder's Ire, because Scalder's Ire has magic find, but it does not have the gold find. So if you were specifically trying to make a gold find character, which that is a real thing, and gold find characters do a lot of gambling, wealth is going to be one of your greatest assets in magic find. Now, if you were just simply to find a 4-socket armor and put 4 perfect topazes in it, which is 24% times 4, so you're looking at 96%. So this already beats a 4 perfect topaz armor. All right. It also beats Scalder's Ire up until the point where you get to the right level, because Scalder's Ire's magic find is based on character level. So when you're like level 91, the magic find on it is much higher, because I believe it's 1.5 per level, which is, or 1.25 per level, something along those lines. And it's a very nice plate. Don't get me wrong. I think Scalder's Ire is probably superior to this in most regards, but Scalder's Ire is lacking the gold find. So if you were specifically looking for the gold find, that would definitely not be the right plate. Now, it's 1.25. I just looked it up just to be sure. So even at level 91, you're multiplying that times 1.25, which is 113. So at the point when Scalder's Ire beats this, it's probably somewhere around level 60. So let's do 60 times 1.25. And we have 75 magic find, and if we add in a topaz at 24, that's 99. So yeah, around like level 62, 63 is when Scalder's Ire is going to start to beat this in magic find, because of the magic find by level. And it's kind of hard to beat the level 43 requirement if you make this in a lower armor. So you have level 43 with 100% magic find, 300% extra gold for monsters, and it can stack up really quickly. To give you an idea, let's go and take a look at my necromancer online, who unfortunately he does not have a wealth, but let's take a look at him anyway, because he does have a bunch of other equipment, which would stack with wealth and would increase our gold find even higher. And gold find is pretty amazing, especially when you do gambling and you find some really nice items like diadems and rare amulets and things like that. But for gambling, you do have to be the right level. There's a whole thing about that. So here's my Skull Desire, and you can see at level 91, which is what I'm at. Level 91, my Skull Desire has 113 plus 25 from the Rune that I put in it. So it's a relatively high amount of magic find for my level. But if I were a lower level character, wealth would win. And if I was specifically looking for gold find, wealth would also win. Because as you can see, there's no gold find on Skulder's Ire. And if you count up all the gold find from the various items that you can put on, like for instance, you get 50% from Rhyme. So let me just actually grab a calculator here, and we're going to add all this up. So 50. And then we're also going to add the 300% from wealth, so plus 300. Alibaba at level 91 has 227% magic gold find, so that's 227. And of course, if you were a gold find barbarian, you could multiply this by 2. You could have 2 Alibabas on, and you could also increase your gold find even further by, instead of using Runes, you could use what is it? I believe it's Lems. I think it's Lems, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Lems are 75% extra gold find. So if you wanted to really bring your gold find up as high as possible, you could throw 2 Lems in the Alibabas instead of 2 Ists for magic find, and you could bring your magic find up by 150%. But we're not going to do that right this second in our calculation. All right, so we have 200% on Chancy's. We also have another 69% on Gold Wrap. And if we were to run, I can't remember if War Traps has any at all. Can't remember right off the top of my head. I know that Harlequin Quest does not. Harlequin Crest Shaco. I don't have the Travs on me right this second, unfortunately. But as you can see here, if I run all these numbers, 846% is the total that you can get specifically for like gold find if you were running wealth and so much, things like that. Now, what does gold find do exactly? Well, every time you kill a monster, gold drops. So if I were to go to, for instance, Act 3, Travancore, one of the monsters that drop a lot of gold are champions and the council members. And if we go and we kill the council members real quick, which won't take but a second, you'll see that the council members will drop rather large quantities of gold. Now, this is normal difficulty, so the gold is going to be somewhat subdued. But with the amount of gold find that I have, they should drop rather large piles. Or they'll make absolute fools at me and not drop any gold whatsoever. Well, let's go to hell difficulty, shall we? Because that's where the real meat and potatoes is. My Merc is set up specifically for the council, and it's really because I do tend to go in there and kill them a lot. It's part of my rotation. And he's running essentially an Ethereal Guardian Angel plate, which has been upgraded. So he has 90% all res, which is the good thing. And he's also running 33% Magic Find on his helmet and 76% on his weapon, so that he's got a little bit of Magic Find as well. And we might as well just have a little bit of fun with this. Since we're going to go kill the council, let's go kill the council, shall we? So usually what I do is I have to go get my army first. We're going to go get my army. And why not get your army from the cheapest and easiest place possible, which is the Pindleskin portal. As you notice, they don't fight back. And then you just go up here. I usually kill Pindle. If I'm here, I might as well kill Pindle. It's not really a big deal. It takes me a couple seconds, and bing, bang, boom, he's dead. And then we work our way over to the council. +1 revive. Of course, you know, you can always sell items for gold, too. This is 35,000 gold right there. I knew how much that was going to be just by looking at the skills. I have a whole video on that if you guys are interested. Basically going over, you know, what items are worth and how to learn, you know, how to know in your mind just by looking at the item, just by glancing at what's on the item, how much it might be worth. And that's a whole video. Alright, so the council is a little bit difficult to kill, mainly because they have random positions. So sometimes they are inside the building, sometimes they are outside the building. But generally what you want to do as a necromancer is you want to teleport inside into a safe location, get your army where you can utilize them, and then just start killing. As you can see here, we've got a 7,000 pile, a 7,000 pile, an 18,000 pile. Not bad. Usually it's a lot more than that. A low-quality sacred charge. Nothing good from the council, but that's okay. The council is actually a good spot to farm for gold, and if you were using a wealth along with all these items, you'd have a really, really high gold find percentage. And I do plan to do gambling, which is one of the reasons why you would want to use the wealth in the first place. So keep that in mind when you think about wealth, is that it's not just about the magic find on wealth, it's also about that 300% extra gold for monsters. And let's go back and take a look at wealth one more time. Mr. NiNi sleeping in my shirt. He was nibbling on something in there like a little baby. So it doesn't really have a lot going for this armor. There's really not a lot. It's only got magic find, extra gold for monsters, and maybe the mana after each kill and the dexterity could be useful, but there's no resistances. There's it's a lot like just finding a blue magic ring on the ground with some magic find and putting it on. You know that you're sacrificing all the stats that you could possibly have in that slot for a little bit extra magic find, and that's exactly what wealth is. You're basically sacrificing your entire armor slot for the extra gold for monsters and the magic find. And there are better pieces that you could put in this slot, like Skulder's Ire, but you don't get that extra gold for monsters. So if that's important to you, you're going to probably use this instead. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.